When God finally sent Archangel Michael with the answer you've been praying for, the sign was ignored. Now a big miracle is seconds from being redirected. There was a window, a holy second, when heaven bent low and the gates opened wide. It was not delayed, it was not hindered, and it was not postponed. The answer you had travailed for in the secret place, the cry that had gone up like incense, had already been dispatched. In that very moment, the King of Glory commanded, and Archangel Michael descended, carrying not just a response, but the very shift you had been groaning for. Yet in the stillness of time, the sign passed before many eyes unnoticed, like a whisper lost in a storm. The divine interruption came clothed in ordinary garments, and because it did not look like what you imagined, it was ignored. Beloved, the heavens did not delay. The answer had already been delivered to your very doorstep. But when a sign is overlooked, when the whisper is drowned out by the noise of distraction, the miracle trembles at the edge of redirection. Heaven's gifts are never wasted. If the vessel refuses to see, another vessel will carry. And this is the holy danger now, that what was marked for your hands, if not recognized, may be rerouted to another who will discern it. This word is not for everyone. No, this is a sacred call for those whose spirit has been groaning, whose nights have been heavy with unanswered prayer, whose tears have watered the altar of heaven. It is for the chosen who have carried a burden others could not see. And to you, the command is clear. Silence is no longer weakness. It is the condition for discernment. For only in silence can the whisper be caught. Only in quiet can the movement of angels be heard. Only in stillness can the holy signal be perceived. You are standing at the threshold of a miracle, seconds from being redirected. The window is open again, but for a fleeting moment. Heaven is waiting for recognition, for acknowledgement, for your spirit to say, I see it. This is the hour of sensitivity. This is the hour of awakening. This is the hour to open your eyes wide and refuse to miss what has been laid at your very feet. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. When the prayers of the righteous ascend, heaven does not remain silent. The throne responds with urgency, for God is not a God who delays without purpose. Within hours of your cry, within moments of your groaning, a command was issued in the courts of eternity. The decree went forth. Send Michael, my warrior, my messenger, my shield-bearer of light. And Archangel Michael descended, clothed in fire, carrying in his hands the very answer that your soul had been yearning for. Yet here lies the mystery. When heaven moved, many could not see. When the answer appeared, silence, busyness, and doubt caused eyes to glaze over. The very visitation you begged for walked past you, and because it did not come dressed in your expectation, it was ignored. Do not misunderstand. Heaven was not late. Heaven has never been late. The miracle had already touched the earth. The prayer you thought was waiting and delay was in fact already delivered. The voice of God thundered, but men heard only an echo. The angel stood, but hearts looked away. And now, child of God, the weight of this moment presses upon you. For the miracle still hovers in suspension, waiting for recognition, waiting for your spirit to awaken, waiting for your mouth to declare, "Lord, I see it now." Hear me clearly. The divine interruptions of heaven rarely appear in the form you expect. They do not always arrive in fire and shaking mountains. Sometimes they come in a word that seemed too small, a door that looked too ordinary, a conversation you nearly dismiss. The answer was hidden in what you thought was common, and in overlooking it, the holy sign slipped by. But understand this: God never hides a miracle to deny you. He hides it to sharpen your sight. He cloaks it to test your discernment. And only the chosen, only the sensitive, only those whose spirit burns with holy watchfulness and recognize the moment when eternity brushes against time. This is not for the multitude. This is for you, the one whose spirit has been groaning, the one whose heart has been stretched in waiting. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not unheard. Heaven has already moved for you, but now the call is upon your discernment. For the miracle hovers like a flame, ready to be embraced or ready to be redirected. And heaven will not wait forever. The angel still stands, but the clock of heaven ticks. Archangel Michael himself stands in this hour as both warrior and witness. He fights against the forces that seek to blind your eyes. He wars against the powers that want you distracted. He guards what was sent, holding it in suspension, refusing to release it to another until your heart awakens. But hear this: the answer cannot hover endlessly. It demands recognition. It demands acknowledgement. It demands your yes. The heavens are not asking if you prayed. They already heard. The heavens are not asking if you desired. They already know. The heavens are asking if you are ready to perceive, ready to recognize, ready to embrace what has been laid at your feet. This is the hour to awaken. This is the moment to shake off slumber. This is the time to cry out, "Lord, open my eyes that I may see." For the miracle is at your doorstep still, trembling between fulfillment and redirection. Do not let silence rob you of what heaven has already released. Rise, awaken, and declare your readiness, for the angel has not yet departed. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1414 is now surrounding you. Not all who smile at you rejoice in your answered prayer. Not every hand extended toward you has been stretched in blessing. Hidden beneath the surface of what seemed ordinary, subtle forces have sought to keep your eyes blind to the miracle that was placed before you. And this is the disruption that unsettles your spirit even now. You felt something shift. You knew something moved in the unseen. Yet when you reached for clarity, confusion wrapped itself around your mind. You asked, "Lord, did you hear me?" And heaven thundered back, "Yes, child," I answered. But because the sign did not fit your imagination, it seemed invisible to you, and those around you could not confirm what had been given. There are whispers in the spirit realm that others do not hear. There are movements of angels that pass unnoticed by those who live only in the natural. And when you carried this weight of expectation, you assumed that surely someone near you would notice the same tremor. But not all who walk beside you carry the sight to discern your miracle. Some celebrate you, yet envy your promise. Some draw close, yet pull away the moment heaven favors your house. And while you waited for men to affirm the sign, the enemy slipped in with distraction, casting shadows over your awareness, clouding what was meant to be clear. The disruption you feel is not accidental. It is spiritual. Heaven moved, but the enemy's tactic has always been to twist recognition. He cannot cancel what God has released, but he can cloak it in confusion, delay, and disguise, hoping you will let it pass by. This is why your spirit feels unsettled. Deep inside, you sense something has already shifted, yet your mind cannot fully grasp it. You are standing between what was already released and what has not yet been recognized. This is why you feel restless. This is why you feel the tension. This is why you keep asking if you missed it. Child of God, listen. The sign was closer than you thought. It brushed against you in the ordinary. It stood before you in the unexpected. You felt the nudge, yet you dismissed it as coincidence. You heard the word, yet you doubted it as imagination. And now, the miracle trembles, suspended in mystery, awaiting your awakening. You are not empty, you are in overflow, but your eyes must open. What you prayed for is not far from you, it is already among you, but wrapped in a form you overlook. Do not let confusion trick you into surrender. Do not allow emotional disruption to blind you to divine reality. For the truth is this: heaven has released, Michael has descended, and your miracle is not lost. It is simply waiting for you to claim it. What you feared had slipped away has not departed, but it hovers in divine suspense. Yet know this with holy seriousness: heaven will not allow this hovering forever. You must move into recognition. You must step into discernment. You must declare, Lord, I will not miss it again. The unseen is trembling with activity. The miracle is seconds away from either manifestation or redirection. And in this moment, the heavens cry out for your clarity, your boldness, and your faith. Type "I will not miss IT" in the comments if you received this message. Blessing code 1777 is now released over you. The battle you are facing is not natural. It is not simply about missed opportunities or misunderstood signs. It is spiritual warfare at its core. The enemy's greatest tactic is not always destruction, but delay. Not always violence, but distraction. Not always denial, but blindness. If he can keep your eyes shut when heaven has already opened its hand, then he does not need to steal what is yours, because you will hand it away unknowingly. That is why this conflict feels heavier than you imagine. It is not about small inconveniences. It is about divine assignments. The reason your miracle has been resisted is because the weight of your calling is greater than what you realize. You have been chosen for something that carries eternal weight. This is why the enemy has fought you so fiercely. This is why the distractions have been constant. This is why the whispers of doubt have lingered in your ears. Because if you recognize what heaven has already released, you will step into a season of unstoppable authority, and that terrifies the kingdom of darkness. The enemy does not fight empty vessels. He wars against those carrying the oil of destiny. Child of God, hear this. Heaven has not only heard your prayers, but heaven has tested your posture in the waiting. When the sign was sent, it was wrapped in mystery to reveal the posture of your spirit. Would you be patient enough to discern it? Would you be still enough to recognize it? Would you be humble enough to receive it, even if it did not look like what you imagine? This conflict you feel is not punishment. It is refinement. Heaven is watching to see if your posture aligns with the promise. And even now, as you wrestle with the silence, as you battle the confusion, as you question if you missed the moment entirely, heaven has not turned its face from you. Michael stands watch, guarding what was nearly redirected, waiting for the declaration from your spirit. This is why your prayers in this hour carry so much weight. Every whispered yes, every cry of Lord, open my eyes, shakes the heavens. Do not think your prayers are wasted. They are the very weapon by which this battle is won. The conflict is real, but so is the surveillance of heaven. Every tear you shed was caught in golden bowls. Every groan you uttered was recorded before the throne. Every moment you kept believing when nothing seemed to shift has been witnessed by the courts of eternity. And heaven is not silent in vain. Heaven is testing, measuring, proving, and refining you for the weight of the miracle you are about to embrace. The trial of missed recognition was not to punish you. It was to sharpen you. Now, beloved, the framing of this battle is clear. You are not simply fighting against delay. You are fighting for divine recognition. You are not simply struggling with silence. You are contending for the opening of your spiritual eyes. The miracle has not been denied. It has been resisted. But in this very hour, you are being strengthened to overcome. For the promise is this: heaven does not abandon its chosen. Heaven equips its chosen. And you are chosen. Rise in this assurance. The battle belongs to the Lord. The answer has not been stolen, and the angel still stands. Stand firm, for the heavens are watching your posture, and soon your recognition will collide with your release. Type "I am ready" in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing Code 2244 is being released over your life. Beloved, the heavens are trembling with a holy urgency. The angel does not tarry endlessly, for even angelic missions operate under divine timelines. There is a warning sounding now in the spirit. If recognition does not come, if your spirit does not awaken, then what was meant to be yours may soon be redirected into another's hands. Heaven wastes nothing. Heaven will never allow a miracle to wither unused. What you ignore will be placed in the hands of one who discerns, one who is ready, one who has ears to hear. And so the time of decision has come. The next few moments, the next few days, the next few breaths carry eternal weight. The prophecy is clear. If discernment does not awaken, the shift finalizes within 72 hours. This is not to frighten you, but to awaken you. For there is a countdown already in motion, and the miracle you prayed for hovers between your embrace and its departure. Do not think this is far away. It is seconds, moments, breaths from being redirected. You are standing on holy ground, and the heavens are waiting for your recognition. Consider this carefully. The sign was in the voice you ignored. It was in the call you dismissed. It was in the door you closed too quickly. The answer was not absent, it was overlooked. And heaven, in its mercy, is giving you one more window. The angel still waits, but the waiting is not without end. The miracle is trembling, suspended in the atmosphere, and every moment that passes adds weight to the possibility of redirection. This is the holy pressure of the moment. You cannot afford distraction now. You cannot afford to be casual with your time, with your prayers, with your attention. For the miracle has already been released, but its manifestation depends on your recognition. The angel has not departed yet, but neither will he linger indefinitely. Archangel Michael does not operate outside the will of the Father, and the Father has decreed that miracles must be received or reassigned. Now is the time to declare war on your distractions. Now is the time to silence the voices that keep you blind. Now is the time to align fully with heaven's urgency. You must posture yourself with readiness. You must cry out, "Lord, let me not miss it again." You must stand in faith that what has been hovering will fall into your hands, not into the hands of another. For God is merciful, but God is also just. He will not allow blessings to remain suspended forever. Hear this again, 72 hours. That is the window. The countdown has already begun. Heaven is not threatening you. It is warning you, calling you, urging you to rise in discernment before the shift finalizes. The miracle is seconds away from being redirected, but just as quickly, it can also be claimed if you recognize the sign. The question is not whether God has answered, it is whether you will recognize his answer. This is the line drawn in the Spirit. Will you awaken? Will you discern? Will you claim what was meant for your destiny? Or will you let it slip unseen into another's hands? The heavens await your response, and time itself testifies to the urgency of this moment. Type "I claim my miracle" in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 3030 is surrounding you now. In moments like these, when heaven has moved but recognition feels fragile, the greatest weapon is not noise, but stillness. The Spirit of the Lord says, "Be still, and know that I am God." For in stillness, distractions lose their grit. In silence, the voice of heaven grows louder. And when you step back from the chaos of your thoughts, heaven steps forward with clarity. Child of God, if you would only be still in this hour, the fog would lift, the whispers of doubt would scatter, and the sign you once overlooked would appear before you again. Protect yourself, not by striving, but by withdrawing into the sanctuary of prayer. When the angel stands guard, he is not waiting for you to labor in fear. He is waiting for you to lean into trust. Silence does not mean passivity. Silence means alignment. It means pushing back every voice that is not of God. It means creating space for heaven's whisper to be heard again. For the enemy thrives in noise, but he trembles in silence. He thrives in your busyness, but he is powerless when you withdraw into the presence of the Almighty. Now, listen carefully. This is how you protect the miracle hovering over you. Withdraw from the crowd, enter your secret place, and guard your spirit with discernment. When you pray in the stillness, the heavens respond. When you listen in the quiet, your spirit sharpens. Do not let fear drive you into frantic action, for miracles are not birthed in panic, they are embraced in faith. Your protection is not found in trying harder, but in resting deeper in the one who has already sent the answer. Say it with boldness. What is mine cannot be stolen. What is mine cannot be lost. What is mine cannot be redirected. The only power the enemy has is delay, but even delay cannot deny what God has ordained. Your protective covering in this hour is faith-filled stillness. Faith that says, Lord, if I missed it once, I will not miss it again. Faith that declares, the miracle may tremble, but it cannot leave my hands. Faith that trusts the warrior angel still stands guard until recognition is made complete. Beloved, this is the guidance of heaven for you. Step back so that God can step forward. The battle is not yours. It belongs to the Lord. Your role is not to force what has already been released. Your role is to see it, to discern it, and to receive it with open hands. Guard your heart, guard your ears, and guard your eyes. Do not let the chatter of the world drown out the whisper of eternity. Protect yourself by creating holy silence. Protect yourself by staying in the Word. Protect yourself by declaring daily that heaven's timing is perfect, and you will not be passed over. The miracle is near, closer than breath, hovering in suspension. Let stillness draw it into your hands. Let discernment anchor it into your spirit. For heaven does not waste what it has already released. It is only waiting for your recognition. Type I am protected in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1919 is now active over your life. Child of God, hear this with clarity. You are not who you were when you first prayed. The waiting has transformed you. The silence has reshaped you. The groaning in prayer, the tears on your pillow, the confusion of missed signs, all of it has refined your spirit into a vessel stronger, sharper, and more prepared than before. The enemy wanted you to believe you had missed it permanently, that the miracle had slipped beyond your grasp. But heaven speaks a different word. What felt like loss was training. What seemed like silence was sharpening. And now, you stand not as a victim of delay, but as one empowered by the refining fire of waiting. Do not weep as though what passed you by was taken forever. Heaven is merciful, and heaven restores. You are not at the end of your journey. You are standing in the transition of power. The missed sign was not meant to break you, but to awaken you. It was to draw out the authority that has been lying dormant within you. You thought you were weak, but look again. You are rising with wings like eagles. You thought the fire in you had gone out, but no, beloved, it has been rekindled. Heaven has set you ablaze again. This is no longer the hour to carry the language of loss. This is the moment to declare recognition and empowerment. Say it boldly. I am not overlooked. I am not forgot you. I am not abandoned. I am anointed, chosen, and strengthened. For the shift in the season is not about what slips through your fingers. It is about what God is placing back into your hands, multiplied by His mercy. You must understand, empowerment comes not when everything goes according to your plan, but when you rise in authority even after confusion. The miracle has not been stolen. The assignment has not been reassigned. It has been waiting for your eyes to open and your spirit to awaken. And now, because you endured the silence, because you stayed through the testing, because you refused to give up, heaven is declaring over you, you are ready. Picture this now. The angel who once stood in suspension, waiting, guarding, holding back the redirection, now begins to lower the miracle once more into your reach. Why? Because your spirit has shifted. Because you no longer cry as one defeated, but declare as one empowered. This empowerment is not emotional. It is spiritual. It is the authority that comes when you realize the delay did not destroy you, it strengthened you. The missed moment did not disqualify you, it matured you. And what heaven is releasing now will not slip through unnoticed, because your eyes are open wide, your ears are tuned, and your heart is alert. This is your identity shift. This is your empowerment. You are stepping out of the posture of waiting into the posture of readiness. You are moving from the language of I hope into the declaration of I know. And when the miracle descends again, you will not question it, you will embrace it. For the season of loss is over, and the season of recognition has begun. Type I am empowered in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2525 is now surrounding you with strength. The Spirit of the Lord reveals a mystery now. The delay you experienced, the sign you missed, the silence that unsettled you. It was never abandonment. It was a test, a divine sharpening of your sight. God did not withhold to punish you. He withheld to prepare you. For when the angel came with the answer, and it seemed to slip past your perception, it was not to rob you, it was to train you. Heaven was not silent to ignore you, but to strengthen your discernment. The Lord says, I allowed what seemed missed so that you would be ready for what I am about to multiply. Child of God, what you thought was denial was really divine development. The unanswered cry was not wasted breath. It was an altar of preparation. The missed sign was not the end of your miracle. It was the prelude to a greater release. For now, heaven is declaring, the next appearance of the sign will not come as it did before. This time, it will come with multiplied blessing. The same prayer you cried in anguish will now return clothed in abundance. The same door you thought closed will open wider than you imagined. The same answer you thought slipped away will return with acceleration, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Do not despise the delay. Do not mourn the silence. For even in the hidden place, your name was spoken in angelic chambers. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. Michael himself stood before the throne, carrying your petition, and heaven's record of your faithfulness was read aloud. The delay was only heaven's way of ensuring that when the miracle comes again, you would not miss it, and when you receive it, you would carry it with wisdom, strength, and gratitude. This is your prophetic revelation. The sign you missed was never lost. It was waiting for the appointed moment to return with greater force. What heaven is about to place before you will not only answer your prayer, but will answer it in such a way that the enemy will regret ever trying to blind you. The sign will reappear, but this time it will shine brighter, burn hotter, and rest heavier upon your life. For your discernment has been sharpened, your spirit has been awakened, and your heart has been positioned for recognition. Prepare yourself now, for what heaven is about to release will carry evidence of your testing. The miracle will not only bless you, it will testify of your endurance. It will not only shift your life, It will become proof to others that God does not forget his chosen. And when it comes, you will say, Lord, it was worth the waiting. It was worth the silence. It was worth the sharpening. For now I see, now I hear, now I know, you have remembered me. Type I receive the revelation in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 8181 is being unlocked over you now. The heavens are not only releasing revelation, they are now demanding response. For revelation without activation remains dormant, but revelation embraced with boldness becomes destiny fulfilled. Beloved, heaven has spoken, the angel has descended, and the miracle still hovers. But now the question shifts from what God has released to what you will declare. Will you remain silent, or will you rise and activate your destiny with your own words? For heaven is waiting on your yes, and until your yes is spoken, the miracle cannot be anchored into your life. This is the moment where destiny demands your voice. The angels of God are listening for agreement. The courts of heaven are waiting for your declaration. The atmosphere itself is leaning in to hear your confession of faith. This is not a time for hesitation, not a time for doubt, not a time for silence. This is the time to rise in holy boldness and say, Lord, I am ready. Lord, I will not miss it again. Lord, let the miracle be sealed into my hands. For when your declaration meets heaven's decree, a collision takes place, and the promise is secure. Child of God, you cannot afford to be passive in this moment. Passivity forfeits promises. Silence allows miracles to drift away. But boldness seals it, boldness claims it, boldness anchors it. Destiny is not for the timid. It is for those who rise and declare with unwavering faith. That is why heaven has tested you, why you have endured the silence, why you have walked through confusion, so that when this moment came, you would stand without fear and declare what belongs to you. Let your mouth become the pen that writes your destiny. Speak it now. I will not miss it again. I will see what heaven is releasing. I will claim what was meant for me. I will walk into my miracle. Every word you release in faith is a weapon that secures what the enemy tried to delay. Every declaration you make in boldness ties the miracle to your spirit so tightly that it cannot be redirected. Beloved, this is not a suggestion from heaven. It is a command. Heaven is calling for your activation. The destiny written over your life has been waiting for this moment of agreement. You must align with it. You must embrace it. You must declare it. And as you do, the angels of God are loosed to deliver what has been hovering. The miracle descends not into passive hands, but into hands lifted high in faith. Do not think small. Do not speak timidly. For what God is releasing is not small. It is weighty, it is powerful, it is life-shifting. This is not merely an answer to prayer, it is a realignment of your destiny. The delay was only to prepare you for the weight of what is coming. The testing was only to sharpen your sight. And now, heaven calls, activate your destiny with your declaration. Rise in boldness. Rise in confidence. Rise in holy fire, for this is your hour. This is your window. This is your miracle. Speak it now, and heaven will seal it. Type "I activate my destiny" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4747 is now released over your life. While you wrestled in silence, while you tossed between doubt and faith, something was happening in realms your eyes could not see. Heaven was not idle during your waiting. The Spirit of God moved in the night, and Archangel Michael stood guard in places unseen, waging wars on your behalf that you will never fully understand. There was an exchange in the spirit realm, a negotiation in heavenly courts, a silent transaction that shifted the balance in your favor. For what was nearly redirected, what was seconds from slipping into another's destiny, was pulled back into your reach by divine intervention. Beloved, understand this: the unseen is more active than the seen. While you felt stillness, angels were in motion. While you felt delay, heaven was restructuring. While you thought silence meant nothing, in truth, the Spirit was reassigning strategies, ensuring that what was meant for you could not depart. The miracle trembled in suspension, but Michael's sword drew a line around it, declaring, "This belongs to the chosen one. It will not leave their hands." Though the enemy tried to bargain, though forces of darkness sought to reroute what was yours, heaven declared, "Touch not what is sealed." And yet, in this silence, your spirit knew before your mind could grasp it. Have you not felt it? That restlessness in your soul, that stirring you could not explain. That was not anxiety. It was recognition in your inner man. Your spirit sensed the transaction before your thoughts caught it. You knew something was shifting, but you could not see it in the natural. That is because the exchange was hidden. It was not meant to be seen by your eyes. It was meant to be felt by your spirit. This is the holy mystery of the hour. The answer you thought delayed was being held in negotiation. The enemy cried for redirection, but heaven fought for restoration. And in that silent exchange, it was decreed again, what was nearly lost is now secured. Child of God, hear me well. The miracle has not been stolen. It has been restructured. It is being delivered in a form that cannot be missed, in a way that will silence every voice of doubt, in a manner that will leave no question that the hand of God has moved for you. Now lift your head high, for the silent exchange has already occurred. Heaven has decided. The courts of the Spirit have ruled in your favor. The angel still stands guard, but now no longer in suspense. He stands in readiness to deliver. You are moments away from manifestation. What once trembled in the balance is now anchored to your name. Take courage, for your prayers were not ignored. Take heart, for your groaning was not wasted. Take strength, for the unseen has already shifted in your favor. The miracle is no longer hovering. It is descending. And soon, what you only felt in your spirit, you will hold in your hands. Type "I receive the exchange" in the comments if you believe this word. Blessing code 5656 is now resting upon you. Beloved, hear this decree. Heaven is a realm of justice, and the God you serve is not unjust. Every delay, every distraction, Every moment the enemy sought to blind your eyes is now being turned into evidence against him. The time has come for spiritual justice to be released in your favor. The Lord declares, what was nearly redirected will return to you double-fold. What was resisted will arrive multiplied. What was delayed will now accelerate. The enemy thought he had succeeded by cloaking the sign in confusion, but heaven has written a different ending. This is not the story of loss. It is the story of reversal. Child of God, divine justice is now speaking over your life. Every tear you cried in secret is now presented before the throne as testimony. Every night of travail, every groaning prayer, every sigh of frustration has been gathered as evidence. And the judge of all creation has declared, enough. The chosen shall not be denied. The faithful shall not be overlooked. The miracle will not be stolen. Heaven restores what was overlooked, and it restores it with increase. For God never simply returns what was lost. He returns it pressed down, shaken together, running over. The forces that sought to hinder you, the hands that tried to pull away your blessing, the distractions that blurred your vision, all of these are now being turned into stepping stones for your testimony. What the enemy meant for harm, the Lord is turning into a platform of glory. The very delay that tormented you is becoming proof of God's faithfulness. The very silence that unsettled you is becoming evidence of heaven's justice. The very confusion that clouded your eyes is becoming the backdrop against which God's light will shine even brighter. Do not think the struggle was wasted. Do not imagine the warfare was in vain. For in heaven's courts, nothing is forgotten. Every attempt of darkness becomes a reason for restoration. Every battle fought becomes a reason for double honor. Every attack endured becomes a reason for multiplied blessing. The enemy overplayed his hand, and now heaven is responding with justice. Picture it now. The angel who once stood guarding what was nearly redirected is now moving swiftly with your miracle in his hands. What was delayed is coming faster than you expected. What seemed blocked is now flowing freely. What appeared stolen is returning with interest. This is the divine reversal. Heaven is placing into your hands not just what you prayed for, but more than what you imagine. This is why the battle was so intense, because the blessing is so great. Beloved, lift your faith high, for justice is rolling down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Heaven is balancing the scales in your favor. The voice of the accuser is silenced. The cry of the righteous has been heard. The God who restores is at work, and nothing can stop what he has decreed. This is your moment of divine reversal. This is your hour of spiritual justice. And this time, the miracle will not tremble in suspension. It will rest firmly in your hands. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you believe this word. Blessing code 9292 is now activated over your life. Beloved, as this message draws to a close, hear this truth with unshakable certainty. The sign may have been missed once, but heaven is merciful. The God who sits upon the throne does not abandon his chosen, and the miracle that hovered in suspension is not lost to you. By divine grace, the angel who stood watch has ensured that what was meant for you will not be redirected. What once passed unseen is now returning with clarity, with fullness, and with blessing beyond measure. The Lord declares, your eyes will be sharpened, your ears tuned, and your spirit quickened. Never again will a miracle slip by unnoticed. Never again will the enemy cloak your blessing in confusion. Never again will your prayers rise unanswered. For heaven has decreed over you, you are sealed, you are seen, and you are sent. The waiting is over. The fog is lifting. The clarity is breaking forth. And what heaven has prepared will now rest upon you in strength and permanence. May your spirit rise with confidence. May your hands be ready to receive. May your heart overflow with faith. For the God who restores is sealing this moment with favor. The angels are no longer in suspension. They are in motion. The miracle is not seconds from being redirected. It is seconds from resting in your life. Walk boldly now, for your prayers have collided with heaven's answer. Step forward, for the promise is no longer delayed. Rise, beloved, for you are stepping into your answered prayer. Type Amen. IT is done in the comments if you receive this blessing. Final blessing code 7777 is sealed upon you now.